Bafazi yenzakalani yazi labor ward kwemthi kanjani emthi into nje engayi-understand akunabantu emthi e-labor ward.
Guys, where are you? The clinic is empty. Ngicela nize e-clinic. Ngiyacela. Mangingeze e-clinic anginawo umsebenzi, ngicela nize e-clinic. Simlindile to render the services.
Mafowethu, so match all our websites ka di 30 tsa June. O bethile di nurse ka tswafa. So the nurses tsa go di clinicing ba re ka letsatsi they used to get 100 to 150 people. Ba le busy, ba sna le nako ya gore ba download di game mo phone-ung. Mara since ba fana ba le ba theowa match wirala no go clinicing ke tswafa. Ba re go didimetse nka re ke go library ya ba re ke tswafa ka daso a ona batho go no tsena batho ba ba ithuka letsatsi. So a shifa ke bona di nurse no ba download di game mo di phone-ung ya ke bona ba dlala di Candy Crush mola ba dlala tlhaka no marambaramba mo phone-ung cause ho a bora ba khopela gore exe theoang lena le tleng go clinicing le to ba ntsha bodutu cause a shifa le ke tsona di injection mola di ntse belang di na le dust ya o tsene batho go clinicing ba dumile no tlhaba motho ka injection mola raung fela gore at least ho be fun ho be lovely ka marampa ya clinic. But since well look over those undocumented foreigners go clinicing ke tswafa ebile no phela o le skono le motho o tlina o phela a ntse a khotla phone cause ha o tla le ditshila so ba khopela gore lena o bona gore o thomo foforeya wa bona di tedu tsa o di change color e sale tse black di thomo ba tse maroon e ya go clinicing o lo checka o testa o thomo bona siso se le reng a o sutlwisisa shifa le sitswile mo molomong da so melomo ke mi pink ke mi purple e change di color e ya da so o lo inquire o checka ba khono betha ka injection nyana game ya o e khono boa. Are this thing or lenne high lentse le lwala e thomo ba shapa ka tswafa ba thomo boreha ba ni da batho ba ka mba jova tlhaka no di jive ba fothu ya ntiniking la 10 million ya lena tang.
I gave birth to 2 of my daughters in South Africa. I had my son here in Nigeria before moving to join my husband in South Africa in 2015. When I gave birth to my first daughter, I felt so bad because on the day that I gave birth, I was asked to clean the hospital floor because I was bleeding. Immediately I gave birth, I started bleeding. So one of the nurses came there. The moment she was talking to me in one of their languages, and she noticed that I couldn't respond. So that tells her that I am a foreigner. So she started telling me to clean the floor. Can you imagine that trauma? You know, that psychological trauma that I'm not wanted here. I'm being treated as if I'm not human just because I'm not a South African. So I can begin to recount several experiences, bad ones like that, just being a foreigner because I'm not a South African. Even my children at school, at times they are deprived of awards because they are not South Africans. Several times they come home from school crying that, Mom, what is it? Is it because we are not South Africans? That is why they are robbing us. So a whole lot of experience. But all in all, I want to thank God. We are back home. And I want to thank the Nigerian government and everyone involved in this. I just want to tell them that God bless them because this is a great opportunity. And I thank God that I and my family, we made use of this great opportunity. Once again, I want to say thank you to the Nigerian government and everyone involved in this. I say God bless them. Thank Thank you.
Sometimes I just feel you people just want to talk. Now they talk, I swear to God, now they talk. Madam, I saw a video of one woman circulating. I don't want to attach anybody's picture to my video. Madam, you said you were asked to mop the red water on the floor when you just put to bed because you are a foreigner in South Africa. Am I correct? That was what you said. That you just put to bed and you just give birth and there was red water. You guys should understand what I mean by red water. I don't want to use the main name so that they won't flag my video. You said you were asked to mop the floor when you just given birth because you are a foreigner and you still went ahead and stay in that country for 11 months, 11 years. This make me wonder. Is it that you people just come outside from South Africa and start making up stories? You stayed in your country. You were asked to mop the floor when you just gave birth. I have given birth. If I haven't given birth now, I would say maybe it's normal. Because a woman that just put to bed, barely stand, and you were asked to mop the floor. That's not even the issue. The problem here is, and you still live in the country for 11 years. My brain is trying to do the maths, and the reason is not mathing at all. My brain is trying to calculate, like, I'm trying to think why we live in a country that treats you that bad for 11 years. I'm trying to, like, I don't get it.
South African government pays out 90 to 95% for the medication that we have in the public health sector. So that goes from medications such as your contraceptives, your chronic medications for blood pressure and diabetes and other chronic conditions, as well as your Panados that you get in the clinics, down to the medication that is needed to put you to sleep during surgery, as well as other medications that may be needed for specific conditions such as autoimmune conditions, all of that jazz. 95% of the medication that we have is paid for by the government. Then the other 5 to 10% is funded by private entities, and it's mostly the United States of America private entities such as PEPFAR and USAID, and it comes in forms of research, actual donations, as well as subsidies. But these subsidies only really apply to the ARVs. So 5 to 10% of the medication that we get, like the amount of money that contributes to the medication that we get, is mainly for the HIV and AIDS program, which goes back decades, I think over 2 decades ago. And I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember this, but in the early 2000s, I remember my aunt used to tell me that in the early 2000s in South Africa, every weekend, every township, every village, like every place that had black people in South Africa in the early 2000s, there was a funeral there every weekend because people were just dropping like flies because of the HIV pandemic that we had. And so certain governments stepped in to say that they're willing to help South Africa, and one of the biggest contributors was the United States of America. Hence why we still had those programs up until earlier this year, when the president of the United States, Donald Trump, decided that he's actually going to cut off the funding, which really cut off a lot of funding for the ARVs. However, the South African government has it on record where the Minister of Health, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, stated that the South African government would still be able to bridge that gap of the 5 to 10% of funding that has gone away. So, and I'm saying this because I saw a video of someone saying that the medication that we have in South African governments, in the South African public health sector, is free. It's not free. The government does buy it, which once again brings up the question that the government could literally just build their own pharmaceutical company, because they do have the personnel. We do have enough students or graduates who have graduated in pharmaceutical studies on different levels for us to open up a state-owned pharmaceutical company and just produce all this medication ourselves instead of buying it elsewhere. But that's a discussion for another day. The medication that the South African government has is medication that they have bought, and the little that we do get from funding and sponsorships is mainly focused on the HIV programs, and it's recently been cut, so even that we can't say we get anymore.